Hello, and good morning. Alright, let's see where we were. So, last time this had happened, so I guess we're gonna go off to capture one of them. I'll pick up Orson on the way back at some point. Now, how's the party looking? Well, they exist. So, I mean, that's a plus. Alright, so we lost, I think, one of them last time. I should probably go about picking up some more armor or something for him. Because we have a very, very slightly amount of extra cash on hand at this point. Matsukaze, no, I'm probably going to give that to somebody. Keep all of those. Did I already sell the altar? Well, bummer. Cerberus here. Okay. So first things first, that whip seems to be doing an okay job. However, this probably get replaced with this, I would figure. Also, hang on, let me move my windows around real quick, because it's a little bit distracting here. And there we go. And I had stuff a little bit off here, so okay, there we go. Plumed headband, I should probably pop those on everyone. Maybe. Kind of curious how he'll do with Matsukaze. We'll find out. Now, moving right along. Go to the beach and get cutscenes. Dee-doop-dee-doop-dee-doo. Just going to check in on orphans. Oh, you know, kind of forgot some of the fairy hookers at the beach. Yeah, you probably don't want to hear about it. A bunch of them... Well, look, we couldn't really afford burials, and... Just... Look, let's just say they tasted like chicken, alright? So he goes on about he's not a knight and he just got kicked out of his army. Mommy didn't accept him, so... You know, and Eleanor is just there, all like, swoon. So you promise to come back. Basically just makes her hireable later. Like, I believe in you and all that, and then she goes on about how she never wants him to leave and everything else. And then she proceeds to just see frickin' like, Satan show up and like, gotta get me some of that, and then just like, goes and friggin' goes to hell with the guy. It's like, why? Why did you do this? That seems very nonsensical. Alright, so we want to replace this. We need a good name for him. Let's see. How about Brick? Brick the Fairy. Don't I already have one called that? No, wait, that's Beast. Alright. Alright, so they will be trained in the ways of Murder Punch later. They're just kind of there for now. Dummy is here. You know what? Actually, at this point, I might as well make Dummy part of the squad. You know. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. See how all that goes, because she's actually the highest level at the moment. I don't know what would happen if I gave Dummy a weapon and just, like, let her fight it out versus everybody else. Doesn't matter. Let's find out what happens over here. Time to go recruit Orson. Man. Of all the fights he could have showed up in, this is, like, the least friggin' useful you'll ever be. Okay, let's just deploy all the folks. Unfortunately, you can't give him boot here, so... Such is life. I like the music here, though. I'll probably have Yulissa in here. Okay. Apparently they missed that part where he was going around just like punching things to death with 2 punches. But that's fine. Orson can't be expected to know these things. Their levels looking like relatively low. Oh. Man, an orchestra remaster of this would be amazing. Because it's not like the music was necessarily bad. The actual scores, they're pretty darn good. It's really just a matter of, you know, the GBA not exactly being up to par when it came to emulating the kinds of instruments they ended up using. Which is kind of a shame, because, you know, got some okay music in there. Yeah, you got a whip. And embodiment of desires. I'm pretty sure that makes them unable to pick up some stuff like snapdragons or whatever. I'm not sure. I could be remembering that wrong. I remember there being some downside to getting embodiment of desires. Hard to know for sure. And yeah, I have no idea why they introduced Orson in a fight like this. Because, okay, he's an archer. Archers in KOL are... they're extraordinarily plinky. Like, to a comical degree. They're basically the fairies of the human race, more or less. Which is bizarre. But anyway, it's basically the same idea. They have ridiculously high agility, but they have pretty much nothing to speak of when it comes to damage. Except unlike the fairies there, they don't really make up for it with anything, other than maybe range, although that's really the weapon, it's not the class. They get some slight bonus damage from bows, but it's not too much to speak of. Now, I'm hoping that these dragons are just going to be slow as crap and I can go in and assassinate all the gremlins. Because they can actually be a little bit of a threat with their bows. Which sucks because they're using short bows, but such is life. But yeah, so, like I was saying, Orson pretty much just takes up a slot here. He can't even fire at them. Like, he has to stay within range, and, you know, his range isn't gonna work here. Oh, what a shame for you. There we go. Alright, let's do kind of a slow crawl here. Hopefully Alyssa and Pidgey can at least distract one of them. Alright, Steve's gonna brutalize this one up here, though. Because he's Steve. Nobody questions Steve. There is no questioning Steve. Why did you question Steve? Alright, wow. That is a potentially god-awful trade. Okay, so we're talking 13 potential damage for a 72, refund. No. No thank you. Not to mention they'll get overwhelmed at that point. So we're gonna stay up here. They're just gonna go for opportunity punches, dodge, and run away. Please tell me I bought Mend Leaves. Did I buy them on the wrong game, really? Yeah. Okay. This might be where the run ends, I'll be frank. Because that's not looking too great. I suppose Alphonse might be able to just take care of it himself. But the Fairy Battalion is not going to be doing much. What's funny is Fairy Battalion still sounds cooler than the friggin' army you start out with in Suikoden 2. Friggin' Unicorn Battalion, really? And it's like literally just a bunch of kids. Because of course, a game with such a happy plot, they had to start it off with the kids' army getting wiped, but not even an accident. It was that crap was just flat out like backstabbing and on purpose. But yeah, apparently I'm like right at the end of that thing now at this point too. It's still very good. Right, so he's not looking like he's in such a good spot right now. This is perhaps less than ideal. Although that gremlin might have solved the issue. Please don't do it. Why aren't you blocking anything? Where's all your dodge, man? Okay, time to go in for a save. Yeah, they've got very low chances to hit, too, so it's kind of amazing. Alright. So, Beast. Do you have that? No. Problem is, I need Embrace, and none of them can use it yet. So he needs to last one more turn. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have Beast run up. I know he's the one with the skill here. But I'm gonna have to have all of them try to pry these frickin' dragons off him. So they're all gonna swarm, essentially punch these guys in the back. Hopefully they'll break off, try to attack the fairies, who can then run away. Gonna do something like that. It's seeming about that time where the punches are dropping off in power to the point that I actually might want to consider giving them weapons. They're barely stronger than a whip. And they can watch them whip? Oh my god, that song is unquestionably dreadful. Yesterday, so I have a cousin that's extraordinarily pregnant. Like, they're pretty much ready to pop at any moment now. So we had gone over to their house, and essentially it seems like everybody in my family has some version of Just Dance lying around, or, you know, Dance Central, or Dance whatever. I don't know how many variants of that there are, but essentially just they all have consoles for the entire purpose of dance games. So, at any rate, I'm just kind of sitting there and trying to get some of my work done on the computer, and they're off dancing, and that song comes up a few times. Man, it's such a bad song. Alright, so we're gonna use a healing seed. Hopefully this will be enough to tide him over till next round. Yeah, I thought that was it, actually, but apparently we have a seed, so that's nice. He's gonna pop some grapes while the fairies go and take their hits, hopefully. Nope. Uh-oh. We has a problem. Okay, that's fine. As long as you are not hitting Alphonse, we might take some casualties. Almost inevitable, frankly. But, you know, Warzel and all that. Can you get off him, please? You should have, what, like 60 to 80 somewhere right now? In one way or another, they don't have the units to block him in, so he can run out of that situation. It's funny, because this tendency that... Okay, so, this tendency of mine to always use light units for everything kind of completely bit me in the teeth recently. Because, was going and doing part of that Lucked Iron Man thing. And it got into a fight where there was just utter insanity. Like, I expected the run to end right there, kind of a situation. Because it wound up being that pretty much everybody but 2 people were wiped out. So a healer and Denim with his light friggin' hunter stabby setup. And so, yeah, just the 2 of them end up friggin' fighting off 5 other people. Just a friggin' 2-day epic fight on top of a bridge. It's, what's that bridge with the Viking that got stabbed in the nuts? Dang it. Somethingham Bridge. And I always remember it because it's in a Taurus song. Dang it, what was it? I'll remember at some point. Alright, but one way or another, I need to get Alphonse out of here. He's got the most damage, but he does not have the most survivability right now. And the ninja's the closest thing that he can be to being a fairy, so whatever. And I know, I realize I said that about archers earlier. However, that would make too much sense. So, don't question it, I guess. Yeah. I'll consider changing him to an archer, actually. That does make more sense. Why did I have him as a ninja? Oh, it's because of his movement, that's why. It's the combination of agility and movement that made him like a ninja types, or made-up ninja types. Alright, well, at least these dragons are getting to reasonably low health at this point. Yalissa, you need to GTFO. Somebody needs to come, suck on your wounds. Okay, Devin. Go make out with Yalissa, why not? Because you have no skills to speak of, that's why. I suppose that's a good reason, Zenny. Thankfully, they should... Because this doesn't run off of a TP system, we should have a good 3 rounds to go get some punches off. Which is nice. Sorry, Vin. Or, you know, you're welcome, depending how exactly you see this situation. There you go. That's entirely up to you, I don't know. You never frickin' know. And that is why nobody should ever judge anybody. Because odds are, the person sitting next to you is probably, hell, everyone's got some kind of weird stuff that's going on in their head that they're never going to mention. So, anybody that says, like, oh, no, they're all clean cut and perfect and never think or do horrible things. Yeah, no, come on. A human being like everybody else. And to anybody that ever thought, hey, this is only a thing because of the internet, yeah, no, there's an Egyptian legend, I think it was. It was either Egyptian or Ethiopian. It was like one of the creation legends was like, well, this guy was... I don't remember the exact thing. They're like, well, there essentially weren't any fish in the river, and then one of the gods was like, I'm gonna go jerk it in a river, and then fish happens. Like, okay. So, I mean, there's one way to make fish happen, I guess. Makes you never want to eat seafood again, but, whatever works. This is gonna be the run with all the messed up stuff. That's how this is gonna be. Since I guess the other one has to be all clean now, since Denim's apparently, like, permanently hitched to a healer now. presumably they're getting all religious and everything. Although, honestly, I think I've probably seen more people saying prayers for their food to stay down when they're eating while sick than, well, than that whole thing. But again, you know, to each their own. I was raised Catholic. It's, I mean, Catholicism in a nutshell, you know, friggin' you like something, good, feel guilty about it. You can't like anything except for the Jeebus. Just go friggin' be religious all day, or else nothing. No joy for you. Like, I kid you not, there was this one time, so I went to this Catholic school growing up, and there was, oh man, I just noticed this volume is crazy loud this whole time. But no, essentially, my friends and I just played blackjack after school. Like, you know, just pretty much killing time till the parents showed up. So, doing that, like, pretty much every day. And, one of the nuns comes around, and I guess they were more sisters than nuns. Nuns are more, you know, you basically live in a convent forever. Which was kind of an old-timey way of saying, hey, we want to have some weird justification for basically getting rid of somebody permanently. So why don't you make some use out of them, kind of a thing. But anyway, so one of them comes along and like, oh, no, gambling's friggin' Satan's work, you can't do this, and so we all ended up getting in trouble, and cards ended up getting confiscated. So I end up going and coming back with another deck of cards later, because, like, you know, that's BS, you know, plus that it was this crazy teacher that ended up getting kicked out for beating a kid with a Bible later, so, you know, brought another one, wasn't too worried about it. End up getting over there, and it turns out that this was like some weird gypsy card deck or whatever, that at some point somebody had gone and put like these little stickers on each of the cards with like just random fortune cookie crap. I think it literally was fortune cookie little strips that were on each one as a joke. But anyway, I didn't really think much of it. Oh my god, one of the other nuns, even one of the like nicer ones that usually I wouldn't have expected any sort of issue from. No, fortune telling, this is satanic too. So another time, ended up coming back. I don't know why we thought this would work. We're like, okay, so we can't have games of chance, so I guess we can't have blackjack. And, well, all of us had siblings that had tried Magic the Gathering. Again, I don't know what our logic was, but we're like, okay, let's, using our almost non-existent knowledge of this game, try to figure this out. So we ended up bringing that to school. Naturally, that went over well, so got in trouble for bringing that in. So finally we're like, okay, whatever, screw it. Let's bring games. Bear in mind, school is over at this point. Like, this is... pretty much everyone's got a Game Boy, but school's done. Everyone's just sitting around in lunch tables. And they come over and they're like, no. You can't do violent stuff while you're in friggin' God's school or whatever. And they end up confiscating all of them right before we're about to go on a trip. And we're like, what do you want us to do? We're, like, sitting around in a giant empty frickin' dome. What do you want us to do? Because there are some kids over there, you know, over a couple tables over, and they're drawing stuff. And of course they get in trouble because one of them ends up drawing some Dragon Ball Z thing. They're like, no, it's satanic. They're like, no, dude's got spiky hair. It's like, everything is bad. That's... it's annoying more than anything. Are they dead? No, Mosquito's still alive somehow. I'm just vomiting all over my fair crew here. Thank you for all just isolating different targets here and not ganging up on anybody. That would have been tragic. I think we might have to back off for a makeout party and let Orson get eaten. But other than that, I guess everything's fine. No big whoop. I mean, we can't use Orson anyway, so we might as well feed him to the dragons. Well, I mean, he's kind of like an old man, though. Maybe he would just taste like jerky and they get pissed off and their stats would go up. Alright, so that was my only healing seed, so Fireball it is. By the way, if you ever want to see something funny, look up the, look up the portraits, or the old, like, character art for this game. Because it is some of the most bizarrely, I almost want to say homogenized, stuff that I've actually seen. Like, it's just kind of odd to see it, like, comparing to the other games, like, how much detail they had and everything. It's a little bit odd to see that it's all just very plain. Lots of very plain designs going on there. Although, that being said, so I was looking around trying to find some kind of funny pictures or whatever for this a while ago. You know, just something different and all that, so I was, of course, going through friggin' DeviantArt there, because, you know, you see funny stuff on there every now and then. I'm not terribly familiar with the site, but I do know when you want to find something friggin' funny and all that, you know, there's a good chance of finding it there. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, Google Images is just going to be better, but I find a lot of the funnier stuff is going from that site in particular, so I thought, you know, let's go over there. Maybe we'll find something that'll work perfectly for this run. Now, here's the funny thing. Pretty much everything that you end up searching on that site, like, based off previous experience, I don't know if you've had better luck with this, but pretty much every single, like, previous thing, so it's like you look at it and it's about 40% horribly drawn stuff from an angsty teenager, like maybe 10% actual artwork or whatever else, 10% just straight up copying portraits and calling, you know, like, hey, check out my artistic ability, I traced something else. And then the last 50% is like weird friggin' furry porn or something. And yeah, it's the most strangely PG instance of going through that site that I think I've ever seen. I was like looking through it, and I was like, there's actually, it's either they added a filter to the site or stuff is actually safe to look at here now. But I don't know what it is. Apparently, apparently a lot of the recent Discords I've looked at felt, oh, you can't make out with yourself? Why not? Felt the need to include, like, bizarre sections. Like, I found it funny that the One Vision site, for whatever reason, has, like, a specifically creepy porn section. And I went over there and looked a couple times just to see why is there a not safe for work section here. And, yeah, pretty much immediately regretted it whenever looking, but it's, just kind of funny, you know? Kind of funny to see that there. Like, the whole rest of the site is just, like, old, serious ideas and modding and everything else, and they're like, check out our section of, like, creepy Winnie the Pooh art. Just because, don't ask why, it's just sort of here. But whatever, like I said, to each their own. Now that was probably a healing item that was totally needed. No wait, that was a Stone of Swiftness. And survive without that, provided this run can be, or provided this fight can be survived at all. At this point, I'm kind of expecting maybe 3 losses, not including Orson. I think, by and large, I can pull out all of the Fairy Squadron here and probably pile them up. Maybe just have them go around and take out the gremlins finally, as they were supposed to be doing this whole time. And then probably just have Alphonse plink away these dragons until it's done. Actually, to that end, let's pull up the emulation setup and go 2 times speed on this. Techno remix! Yeah, this is the club remix right here. We got the sweet rave tiles going on and everything. Alright, Steve, make out with Pidgey. Alright, so these two make out party in the corner. And I probably should have had them go after Dallas over here. Oh man. Reminds me of this really cringe-worthy joke the other day. So, my wife and her sister really like these kind of Hallmark movies and all that. And there was one of them. Is just pretty much about not Paris Hilton going to not... what was it supposed to be? Just like going to not Utah, basically, to more or less just fix herself. Because she's pretty much just viewed as a joke and all that. You know, Paris Hilton. So, what ends up happening, she ends up going and ends up having the whole life-reaffirming journey, as they always end up doing. But yeah, no, they had this one really cringeworthy joke in there, like, oh, you know, you definitely totally did the right thing, putting all our company to have all our morals and everything. But I was totally right about them Dallas Cowboys and their coach. Like, man. No, you really couldn't. Bye. Enjoy being Dragon Chow. Sure you're gonna taste like friggin' cement. That might be the end of whoever that is. Okay, no it isn't, but just very, very, very slightly. For some reason I thought they needed 25, not 20. Oh well, whatever. So... yeah. It was supposed to be like a series of letters back and forth between two business people, but it was pretty much like... two... I don't know, just horrible stereotypes, more or less. Like, going back and forth, like, oh, I'm nice, no, I'm nice, I guess we're both nice, and... that about sums up the story there. The usual Hallmark movie, you know? I'm sure you've seen one. Alright, there we go. Are we done with this? Almost. Right, he needs an out. I don't like the idea of giving that, that gremlin one more turn, but I don't think we're gonna have a choice. Gonna have to live with 2 health. Gonna have Steve and Pidgey continue carrying each other with the vague hope here that we'll eventually they'll be able to go back and maybe take some hits. The worst friggin' healing cycle ever. Actually, come to think of it, rakes. If for some reason you've made the mistake of watching this, yeah, we need friggin' make-out regen abilities and one vision to happen. It's like they fly around and they have horrible makeouts all the time, and they get regen out of it. That makes sense. It seems like a worthwhile thing to invest time into. Like programming the animations in and everything. Although that being said, they pretty much already do kind of do that. Except they kind of ruin people in the head. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It's gonna be a couple days, more or less, of just attempting to do this at pretty much 2 AM or whatever. So, in other words, just like back in the ye olden days. Largely because, even though there's much earlier times that would theoretically be free, I think the kiddo is going through teething and all that. What that translates to is, well, you know, I'm gonna go to sleep, I'm totally gonna go to sleep, let me go to sleep, I'm tired. 5 seconds later, trying to roll over repeatedly. Like, no, I must look at stuff, I must play, I don't want to sleep. You try to put them down, like, in the crib and whatnot. They're like, Why would you do such a thing? You know, this is the worst thing ever. I'm gonna just scream straight in your ear now. And then they do so. Well, there's that. You know, such is life. Such is life in a nutshell. Beast Punch. Actually, wait a second. Can you convince him to join us? No. Not even worth trying. Yeah, that sounded like the burped. Fair enough. Alright, so aside from first aid orgies, what are we getting out here? I mean, I guess we're pretty much fine now, because Alphonse is going to be able to snipe away the dragons. That's really only the gremlins that are a problem, so we might not have any casualties at all. That's fine. Seems like a pretty fair trade to me. Well, I mean, aside from Orson, but he was an archer, so he doesn't count. So I'd like to leave Alphonse here with pretty much as a ninja for the sake of his extra movement. Let me know if you want to have him as an archer instead to have him match that agility bonus later. I just figure right now he's agility and movement, which kind of sums up what we're going for pretty well. Alright. Finish. Still sounds like a burp. Steve, go brutalize. Fantastic. Well, I mean, we lost a cup of life because of that, but whatever. Allows more damage at any rate. So, to some degree, that's good. Ouch. And Yulissa needs to get out on this. Yeah, whips are definitely going to be the way to go. Which is just perfect. The problem is being able to afford them, though. Those things are like 1,200 each. Beast whips. Yeah, leather whips and beast whips. Beast whip, there's only going to be one of because otherwise they're going to be... Oh, wait, crap, I do not want to do that. Almost killed Devin. Yeah, so in battle fisting, not appropriate. We're gonna leave that there. Anyway. Well, bye Pidgey. Nice knowing you. Oh, okay. Pidgey might survive after all. This is just going shockingly well, actually. Alright, now these two are retreating. Their job's done. Steve, why don't you go ahead and make out with... Or, well, do whatever you will with Pidgey. Make them feel a little bit better. Nice thing is, they're getting a crap load of experience from this. Oh man, I should try to do a Salt and Sanctuary thing after this. Whoa, what? Why was there a nice... Oh, because they didn't find it there before. Okay, cool. So, I think Dummy can get that ice one then. Which is the only one with Magic Missile right now. Yeah, Dummy's just going to be part of the team now. Because the rookies need to be trained. I might have to train everybody else up, because it looks like I mean, we're still doing okay, I guess. Maybe not. Guys are in pretty okay shape. Death punch, death punch. Good job. So, okay. There's a very mean thing about this fight, though. Because provided you hadn't recruited dragons up to this point, this is very easily a situation where you look at dragons and think, okay, they hit super hard, but they don't hit a very huge area. They just hit that one tile, you know, as long as you stay far away, you're all good. And probably stay just out of their tile range. And how many units do you think were lost in this particular fight, or in the beach fight down the road? Just because of that particular design choice, you know? They're like, okay, their intelligence is low, they only have that one tile. We're not going to tell you once they get past the threshold for it that they're going to end up hitting a crap load more than that. But alright. I think that'll be the last round of healing we need to do. And then I'll probably have them go and perhaps do some fun stuff to Alphonse, make him run a little bit faster, take all of his multiple turns, and end this fight at that point. Have him go and rapid fire these things. Fair enough. Would have liked that sword emblem, but oh well. Oh! Oh, crap. Okay. Too close. Too close. Ah. Yeah, sorry, Steve. Didn't do a very good job healing Pidgey. I know my makeout fairy. Probably could have used Steve to kill that one. But Steve is now going to retreat because I do not want to lose my friggin' top remaining person. Or fairy, mosquito thing. Alright, everyone's going to go over here. Okay, do you have a secondary turn thing? Yeah, you do. Who decided that this thing needed to heal too, is the question. Oh well. Double punch. And Dance's Embrace. I mean, they... if you look at that, they do kind of bleep it out there for a sec, and they do seem to do a lot of, well, I mean, what else are you going to describe that movement as? No, they need more SPs. Well, dang. I can just go over here and get loot before it gets stolen. Maybe it'll be something good. Not really. Oop. Okay, fight ends now. Alright, and then Steve is gonna finish this for getting revenge for whatever the hell her face was again, Pidgey. As they get, like, counter crit now. Revenge got. I mean, all things considered, one loss, not the end of the world. Alright. They are gonna have to train, though. can run a quick training match here real quick. Actually, let's go ahead and set this to disaster mode. Man, I don't even want to look at the audio of this after it's done. That early, ridiculously high volume and all that. It probably sounds like mumbling and all kinds of trash. In which case, I apologize. But such is life. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that Matsukaze off him. Might be more useful in the hands of somebody else, but definitely not his. Hanging out in a ferry, punching each other in the bum. In a cave, I think I meant to say. Or a quarry. Ah, whatever. I should go sleep. I'll say, though, I would have made this a lot nicer if your units were able to actually get their points right after they took a particular action. Unfortunately, you see a lot of, well, I'm gonna go punch that thing that's way higher level than me, and they just get one-shotted. This is still going. I would have expected it to be done by now. All they want to do is make out with each other, dang it. I mean, I know you're into each other and all that. Clearly, there must be something, you know, something interesting going on with everybody moving around so fast and everything. But, come on now. And I'm sure some interesting stuff could be done in the air if physics weren't as much of an issue. Nice. Actually, yeah, they're getting their healing emblems now. I wonder if that actually, I wonder if that helps them. I don't think this is a move that scales very much. It always does under 20. Yeah, they seem to be doing the same. I think it was like Heavenly Spirit or something like that. Name of the ability. Wow. Are they really just taking this party apart piecemeal just because they want to keep having a makeout party? Wow. There was no reason for Team B to win this. They were deliberately made to lose. Also, on a side note, was missing this earlier. but actually I meant to reply to it earlier, rather. So Vin was mentioning a lot of cool mechanics from Personal Lordly Caliber. Man, the fact that you could, the zombie mechanics in that one were to basically, or the skeleton mechanics were to basically go and get a friggin' fire to burn away a zombie, or in order to get a ghost, it was like wind and fire at the same time. That is so much cooler than how they did it in the remake. Why was that not used? Alright. Turn off disaster mode. There we go. Go for double. What levels do we get out of that? Pretty much just Alphonse getting all the levels. And I guess he's fine as he is. What other kind of classes do we have? Do I want to make him a healer? I mean, ideally, I probably should make him a healer, but Ninja or Archer are the ones that he should be. Actually, he'd still have almost the same movement as an Archer. Although his agility would not actually go up. I'll just leave him as a Ninja for now. Alright, well, anyway. So that was something. Let's give you a stick. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but something. So, I mean, I guess that happened. There we go, boost your int. Actually, wait, that also means that you can't... Okay, this thing is a trap, by the way. So it resists spell effects, but it also prevents you from using them. Just a little bit of a joke thing. Oh well. Anyway, see you next time then.